Off we go from Las Vegas. Kenny now out of his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
First play's a run with Nwangu. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
You look at this Raiders defense.
They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll send Williams in motion right.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, but instead a handoff up the middle.
And boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4.
They'll try the air now with Herbert.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And Eckler is going to pick up a Chargers first down as he's up to the 47.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down.
They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack, and remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Herbert. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Here we go, from the 43, here's 2nd down and 1. Once again, it's Jacobs. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's got it to about the 40. The Raiders at 7-6, a game over 500 on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. And in order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. You were telling me this yesterday. It's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league. It's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big touchdown.
Jacoby Myers, his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Raiders put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll go right back to the Wangu. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Caught left side, Williams. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll run with the Wangu. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. They'll get this to the Wangu.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
This set of downs started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now it's 2nd and 10.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Here we go. So here's a 3rd and 14.
Garoppolo. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Jacobs. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker.
That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he gets the first down.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going.
As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Now a give, running left is Nwangu.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Herbert on first down now. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Herbert. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Counter play with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Now 3rd down and 7.
To throw, it's Garoppolo.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So off is Garoppolo, and in comes Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Carlson able to put this one through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
What a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
straight ahead. Here's Nwangu.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Now it's Herbert. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by David Long.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's brought down. 73 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Here we go, here we go.
Jacobs.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it with Jacobs.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown.
Josh Jacobs
with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31.
And the Raiders are able to add on to that lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. For this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Give left side here for Nwangu. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Robert Spillane, ex of the Steelers, is there on the stop.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Another run now for Nwangu.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now a give running right, Nwangu. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Herbert operating from the red zone. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is now 24.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
90 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
He gets away from 1. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Now a give to Jacobs running right.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kenneth Murray. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with career touchdown number 70.
And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it's
caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with career touchdown number 60.
And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here we go.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
But now he appears to be in some pain. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On play action, now Garoppolo.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be out right at the 35. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. This is screen to Abdullah.
Now inside the 25.
And down to the 16-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. 42 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
On first down, Abdullah.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
They go with Abdullah again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that will be incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. 127 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Go. 59.
Herbert now. He's got the first down and more. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Second down and 6 now. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a first down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Herbert and the Chargers staying put. They'll line up and go for 2.
59.
Here's a toss coming right. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
Here we go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Counter play with Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly.
as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Herbert off of play action. And the Raiders have got him. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Herbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by David Long. Inside the 10. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for 2nd place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And, partner, he now just sits 1 behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people of the NFL.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
21.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Getting the football to Davis on an out route. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Set. Crowd right, crowd right, crowd right. Go. Hey, ram, ram, ram.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Nate Hobbs. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
In prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Las Vegas, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.